Yeah. And I loved a couple years ago you did the Billy Gibbons album Hardware. I'm a huge Billy Gibbons fan, huge
Oh,
ZZ,
thank you.
and I thought that was an awesome rock record.
Thank you. We
Felt-
had a lot of fun making that record, and really what I wanted to do on that was bring him back to the early stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
And it was during the pandemic, and Billy, I was really concerned about Billy because I wrote that song Vagabond Man, the ballad,
mhm.
and I wrote it about him. And I had it all on acoustic and I wrote all the lyrics and on the road a million miles and everywhere in between. Seen a lot of faces. Da, 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 da. Uh, and I just thought about him being on the road for 51 years. And then when the pandemic hit, he was home. And I'd call him. I go, Billy, you okay? I go, man, I can't even go to the Walmart. I'm like, man, what are you doing? I said, get out here. I got this place in the desert. It'll just be us. We'll stay away from the general public and we'll make a record. So we went to the high desert near Pioneer Town. My friend has a ranch, 140 acres. And we set up in a garage. And we had these two little houses, and I lived in one, and Billy lived in the other one. And we had this engineer and another guy helped songwrite with us, this guy named Mike Fiorentino from Nashville. And we sat there, and Billy go, you got a riff? And he had a riff, and he wanted to do a surf kind of thing. And I woke up and I wrote all the lyrics to West Coast Junkie. And I go, Billy, will you sing a word? Will you sing the word junkie? And he went, well, yeah, what's it about? I said, it's about a girl. It's not about drugs. I'm a West Coast junkie from a Texas town. For me, it was one of the greatest experiences of my life because I could look at Billy and I'm never prided myself on being a lyricist, but I learned, God, I got some lyrics in me. But it was the case study. It was Billy Gibbons. So what do I write about with Billy Gibbons? It's all right there. Hot rods, girls, cactus. If you listen to Desert High, the very last song, which is spoken word, we created this bed of music. And I said, Billy, I just listened to the Bob Dylan spoken word thing about John F. Kennedy. You ever heard that? And I played it for Billy. I go, can you do something like this? And I remember I read something about David Bowie where he would write words. That's my French bulldog snoring back there.
Yeah.
Uh, he would write words on a piece of paper and spread them out on a table. Just cool sounding words. Ziggy Stardust,
Yeah.
Latin Sane, or whatever you write down, right? Uh, and I started writing all these different things about the desert, the eagle, dust, cactus, and, Salton Sea, and Graham Parsons, and put them all together. And we created this spoken word piece, Desert High. I don't know if you heard that track that ends the album.
Yeah.
And it was just the whole thing made me, and I said this at the end of my book, it brought me back into all the love of music and loved being in the environment with Billy. Like we were kids. And I feel like I said to Billy, let's just strip it down. Let's go back to Tres Hombres. He goes, I said, Billy, when was the last time you listened to Tres Hombres? He goes, when we recorded it. It's not like
Yeah.
Billy goes to his house and pulls out Tres Hombres and puts it on his turntable. That doesn't
With you to
happen.
take them back to the roots, of course.
I said, yeah, and we came up with this stuff like Lucky Card. Like Billy would say, my wife's name's Ace. And he'd say, Matt, your she's your lucky card. And I said, write that down. So we wrote this song, Lucky Card, based on conversations. And then every day he would drive down the hill and he went to there was this taco stand. And he loved to get mole enchiladas. And he'd bring back like 2 troughs of them. And he's like a skinny dude. I'm like, Billy, come on, I can't eat all those. And he comes back one day and he goes, man, I went down. He had nothing. He goes, man, I went down there and she's on fire. I go, what? Who? He goes, the taco stand. The building had burned down. And I go, write that down. And we wrote that song, She's on Fire, and it all happened like that. And it was just,
Yeah. Sounds like you two have an amazing connection and symbiotic relationship in the studio. And it sounds like the desert also provides a ton of inspiration for you and for the whole atmosphere of your music.
yeah. It was a weird time, for everybody. And there we were out there desolate.
Yeah.
And I think the record, I wish it would have got more accolades than it did. Like, and maybe even I felt like it deserved a Grammy for a great blues rock record, or at least a nomination. But I
You,
thought we made a really great record. I'm really happy with the music. When we first finished it, it sounded very garagey, which I liked because Billy had one guitar. He had an old Gretsch Duo Jet, and I had this crappy old drum set, but I liked it. It was a old set owned by Liberty DeVito, and it was in the garage. And I go, I'm going to use that. It just sounds kind of trashy. Billy likes dirt. He likes it to be dirty. And it sounded really bad. And then I gave it to Andrew Sheps, who used to work for Rick Rubin, and he mixed it. He really made it like, it was like raw, but yeah, it's cool. So thank you. I'm happy about that record.
it's great. I know you play with him live on occasion. Do you have any more collaboration with him or anyone else coming up? It sounds like
Yeah,
some.
well, I don't know if you saw the cardboard sessions thing we did, where we
No, I
played.
didn't miss those.
Go on YouTube. It's called Billy Gibbons, Matt Sorum Cardboard Sessions. We did all cardboard instruments.
Okay.
And this guy, a friend of mine, has this packing company, and he makes cardboard. And he's this crazy eccentric dude. And he goes, "Man, I made a Stratocaster out of cardboard." He goes, "I'm going to do a video sequence of different people playing them." Marcus King just did one. It's amazing. I love Marcus King.
Great. Yeah.
Just met the dude in Vegas. Cool dude. I call Billy. I go, Billy. And I knew Billy would like this because he's just left of center. He likes weird shit. And I'm like, Billy, my friend made a cardboard Stratocaster. No, you're not a Strat guy. He goes, I'll play any guitar. That sounds good. So he made a cardboard drum set and he made a Strat. And we went to my studio, Good Noise, here in the desert, which I have a really beautiful 5,000 square foot studio. We wrote the song and he goes, I got the title, Cutting Up Paper. And that was the song. We wrote it on the spot. Great riff. Check it out. Um, and then we recorded it and we shot the video in the same day.
Love it.
And we put it out, the cardboard sessions. And now me and Billy are talking about doing some stuff late May, early June. We want to start diving into the next solo record. And there's some interesting stuff happening, some people percolating. And we have a really good conversation. He's got so much in him still. He's got so much music in him. He's just such you know, he's a treasure, but he's very well versed and he's very intelligent and knows his music deep. And I love that. And it's for me, it's educational. I feel like I'm in the presence of like the professor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I love it. I'm just happy as a clam to be in his realm. That's it.
He's a king. I mean, there's one of the kings of Texas rock.
Yeah.
Never,
Yeah. Yeah.
never,
There
never
you go.
Billy, Stevie, Buddy, Willie.
Cool.
But it's what it is.